In the hallowed halls of Fearlett High School, the silence of the final exam was usually heavy. But today, it tasted of the grave. The air in exam room 1 was thick, suffocating. The only sound was the rhythmic ticking of the clock, counting down like a death knell, and the frantic scratching of a single pen. But if one listened closely, that was no ordinary scratching. It sounded like the crackling of a fire, consuming something invisible. At the center of this macabre theater sat Liam, the school's golden boy. He was solving equations with a feverish, unnatural speed. In his hand, a highlighter glowed with a sickly, spectral blue light. With every line he drew, the jet-black hair on his head turned a shade whiter, as if age was accelerating, devouring his youth in seconds. His skin faded from a healthy flush to the gray of cold ash. His eyes were wide, unblinking, and utterly empty. The bell rang, a harsh, piercing sound. Liam stopped. He handed in his perfect paper, smiled a vacant, broken smile, and collapsed onto his desk like a marionette whose strings had been cut. From the shadows of the hallway, the Fearlett siblings watched the scene unfold. Bridget stared at Liam's withered face, a shiver running down her spine as she whispered,
"That's the 5th one this week, Patrick. They call it academic burnout, but I have never seen burnout age a boy 50 years in a single hour."
Patrick Fearlett leaned against the cold wall, his eyes hidden beneath his blue hair, observing the chaos with a detached, surgical gaze. He adjusted the leather glove on his left hand, his voice low and sharp as a blade.
"That is not burnout, Bridget. That is consumption. Look at the pen in his hand. It is still glowing. It looks fed."
After the ambulance carried Liam's husk away, Patrick and Bridget slipped into the infirmary to access the evidence bag. Inside, the blue highlighter lay dormant, yet Patrick could feel an aura of malice radiating from it, cold enough to frost the air. Patrick took a deep breath, steeling himself for the pain to come. He slowly removed the leather glove from his left hand, revealing skin marred by faint white scars, the toll he paid for touching the past. He reached out, his bare fingers closing around the icy plastic. Instantly, a lance of agony pierced his skull. Patrick gritted his teeth to suppress a scream. A trickle of crimson blood began to flow from his nose. Inside his mind, he did not see ghosts. He saw a factory of cruelty. He saw Liam's 10th birthday, the radiant smile of his mother. But then, a spectral force crushed the memory, grinding it down, incinerating it into gray dust to fuel the pen's light. Patrick dropped the pen, gasping for air, cold sweat drenching his brow. He looked at his sister, his voice trembling with horror.
"It is more cruel than I imagined. It does not run on ink, Bridget. It uses memories as fuel. It burns the soul."
Bridget's eyes widened in shock. She rushed to support her brother, her voice urgent.
What do you mean? Memories?
Patrick nodded weakly, wiping the blood from his lip. His eyes darkened with a haunting realization.
"I saw it burn his mother's smile. I saw it incinerate the joy of his childhood, all traded for a mathematical formula, for a fleeting grade. These children are not studying. They are bartering their souls for an A."
While Patrick recovered his strength, Bridget turned to her domain, the digital realm. She opened her laptop, fingers flying across the keyboard. She didn't hack the school. She pierced the veil of Liam's personal cloud storage. Minutes later, a hidden folder appeared on her screen, titled "Last Will Before Finals." Bridget clicked on the latest video file. As she watched, her face paled. She turned to her brother, her voice thick with sorrow.
Patrick, I found the source. They didn't buy these pens from a demon. They chose this. Listen to this.
The trail led them to the school's trophy room. a mausoleum of achievement where golden cups and certificates hung like silent judges. In the corner, an old wooden chest overflowed with hundreds of glowing blue pens. But they were not alone. A group of elite students, the next hollow shells, stood guard around the chest. Their eyes were veined with red, their hands gripping sharp pens like daggers, ready to kill to protect their academic future. Patrick stepped forward, magic gathering in his fist, ready to fight. But Bridget stopped him. She knew that violence could not break a spell cast by desperation. She quickly connected her phone to the school's PA system.
Don't fight them, brother. They are just terrified children. Let me show them the price they are paying.
The speakers crackled, and then a voice echoed through the room. It was Liam. Not the confident top student, but a broken child sobbing into his camera in the dead of night.
Mom, I'm so scared. I know if I use this pen, I will forget you. I will forget how happy we used to be. But I am more afraid of seeing your disappointment than I am of death. Mom, please forgive me. I have to get an A. I have to.
Liam's weeping struck the room like a physical blow. The students froze. The manic light in their eyes flickered and died, replaced by a dawning horror. The pens in their hands lowered. They realized their idol, the boy they strove to emulate, was nothing more than a victim of his own terror. Seizing the moment, Patrick lunged toward the chest. He didn't hesitate. He grabbed the master pen, the brightest, pulsing heart of the curse, and crushed it with all his might. A dry, snapping sound echoed. What bled from the shattered casing was not blue ink, but a thick, gray sludge, like wet ash mixed with tears. The residue of incinerated happiness. The students in the room collapsed, gasping for air as if waking from a long nightmare. The spectral glow in their eyes faded, leaving only the exhaustion of being human. Patrick looked at the gray ash staining his hands. He turned to Bridget, his voice heavy with a melancholic truth.
It is finished, but the memories that were improved, I fear they are lost to the void forever.
At least they are alive to make new ones, brother. And this time, perhaps they will cherish them, rather than trading them for a number on a page.
Outside the window, the pale afternoon sun filtered through, casting long shadows over the cold trophies. Another exam season had passed in Fearlett, leaving behind invisible scars deep in the minds of the children who had just barely escaped the reaper of perfection.